Copyright notice. This video and script are copyright registered. Any reproduction, excerpt, or unauthorized use without the creator's permission is prohibited by law. Hey everyone, today I want to talk about something that can cause a lot of hurt. If you don't know about our basic knowledge that both men and women absolutely need before a woman's first sexual experience. When you look at the situation during a woman's first time, the man is usually at the peak of sexual excitement, so his arousal and pleasure are at their highest. On the other hand, the woman is at the first stage, which is the stage of pain, and she probably doesn't even know how much it's going to hurt. How the man leads that first experience can make a huge difference in how much pain the woman feels. So, if the man is at the peak of pleasure and the woman is at the peak of pain, who should be the one to be extra considerate? Of course, the man who's feeling all that pleasure should be the one to really care for the woman who's going through the most pain, right? Your first experience doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it can't be perfect. Think of it as a time to get used to each other and keep your expectations low. Make sure you choose a safe place where both of you can feel comfortable and relaxed. During a first experience, women are extremely sensitive, both mentally and physically, so men need to be very careful and considerate in many ways. There's always the fear of the act itself, and the fear of an unplanned pregnancy. The man's first job is to help relieve those two fears. Women need to feel mentally secure, so men shouldn't rush into penetration. Instead, wait as long as it takes for the woman to open up emotionally. Even if the woman does open up and wants to try, if the man just tries to penetrate without any preparation, the pain for a woman who's never experienced this before can be overwhelming. So you have to be extremely careful and do everything you can to minimize her pain. This is so important that I want to emphasize it again. If the first experience is ignorant and careless, the pain a woman feels can be like rubbing very soft skin with sandpaper. It can be so bad that she never wants to do it again. So men really need to pay attention. The most important thing in opening up emotionally is enough conversation. You both need to trust each other, rely on each other, and know that you're sharing this moment because you really love each other. Talk about it so you both know this is why you're here. Only after that, you can move on to touching each other naturally. Women's erogenous zones are very sensitive, so even just gently stroking her hair can give her intense pleasure. Then, you can move on to gently stimulating her whole body. After touching, if you carefully and lovingly caress her whole body, her arousal will go up even more. The best way to do this is to start from the outside like her head or legs, and slowly move toward the inside, from less sensitive areas to more sensitive and deeper areas. That's how you really build up sexual pleasure. When you do this, the woman will realize that sex isn't just a painful process. This kind of foreplay should last at least an hour, maybe even 2. Once you've had a loving and careful foreplay, the woman's private area will be wet with natural lubrication, making it easier to accept the man. If you try to penetrate when she's not wet enough, not only will it be extremely painful, but it can also cause injuries that might require a hospital visit. If that happens, the woman can develop trauma from the pain and start to dislike sex altogether. It might sound hard to believe, but there are actually couples who can't have sex for months or even years because of the pain and fear from their first experience. The more sensitive the woman is, the worse the pain and trauma can be. Imagine if the pain and trauma are so bad that she can't even try again for months or years. Now, let me tell you the best solution to overcome the fear and pain of a first experience. After at least an hour of foreplay, when there's enough natural lubrication, the man should use his index finger and very carefully insert just 1/3 of it into her private area. If that goes well, gently stimulate for about 3 minutes. If after 3 minutes the woman feels comfortable and not in pain, then carefully insert 2/3 of the finger. Again, stimulate for about 3 minutes. If she's still comfortable, then gently insert the whole finger. If you can move the whole finger for 3 minutes without pain, you've completed the first step. Once you've succeeded with one finger, now use both the index and middle fingers together. Gently insert just one segment of both fingers. If that goes well, stimulate for about 5 minutes. This time, since 2 fingers can cause more pain, if she's comfortable, then insert 2 segments and stimulate for another 5 minutes. If she's still okay, then gently insert both fingers all the way and move for 5 minutes. If she can handle that without pain, you've finished the second step. If you've completed these 2 steps with no pain, You're ready for actual penetration without hurting her. But even then, don't rush. Since women can be worried about pregnancy, always put on a condom first. Then, just like before, insert only 1/3 at first. Move gently for about 5 minutes and check if she's okay. If she says she's fine, try 2/3 and again move gently. If you're able to do this without much pain or discomfort, you've had a successful first experience. If you finish this part well on the first day, that's already amazing. You don't have to try full penetration on the first date might be too much, so it's okay to wait. Next time, repeat the same steps and try full penetration at the end, so you can minimize the woman's pain as much as possible. If you do this and end up with a loving and successful experience, you can help the woman move from the stage of pain to a stage of comfort and hope. If a man approaches a woman's first experience carelessly, the woman should make it clear that she doesn't want to go further. No matter how much she loves him, her body and mind need proper and enough preparation before anything else can happen. And she should explain this to the man to prevent any possible problems in the future. The key to a first experience is trust, consideration, enough, conversation and preparation, and not rushing. If the man's desire is so strong that he wants to rush, he needs to understand the woman's physical and emotional state, which is all new, scary, and awkward for her. He should always act step by step, putting the woman's feelings first. And women, you should be honest about your feelings and your state. So, only when both of you want to do this. Go slowly, safely, and with respect for each other.